Mayoral candidate Leo Savage here for another segment or so. We were talking before we started toward the top of the hour when you first came in, and we were talking a little bit about the number of forums, the number of mayoral forums that you've done, and I don't think you've missed one yet.
Yes, I did one.
And the ones that are coming up. But you said the one thing that people ask over and over again, and I take this to be this is what's foremost in people's minds.
Yes.
Is crime.
Right.
To the point that once again, not to put words in your mouth, but there is probably not a neighborhood in the city that feels totally secure. Is that the sense you get, and what can you do about it?
Well, first off, great question. You know, when I walk neighborhoods, I don't care if I'm walking Southern Hills, Broadmoor, Sunset Acres, Cedar Grove, down Ellerby Road. You know, that is the first thing that people say in our forums. It's one of the primary questions that they'll ask. You know, what are you going to do about crime? You know, and we've got to admit this. You know, first off, we've got very poor leadership in our police department now, and this is through the mouths of our police officers that I've talked to. But you know, we can change police chiefs today. We can get more police officers out on the street today, which is, again, what we have to have. We've got to have that. We have to reallocate, and I can talk to you about that a little bit if you'd like. The problem is in the community. I mean, and deeper in the community. But if we looked at possibly 3 or 4 neighborhoods in our city, you might live in Southern Trade. Look, there's not been a homicide in my neighborhood. I live on Cross Lake. I mean, there's not been a homicide there. So I can assume I'm safe in somewhat of a fashion. But when you're looking at corporations that look to Shreveport and say, hey, this could be an opportunity. Look, they've got 49 that's going to connect. Could be a good transportation hub for us. Well, then they look at the crime, and they don't look and say, well, let me look at what Cross Lake, what the crime is there, or, you know, Southern Trace there. You know, what they're going to do is they're going to look at Shreveport's crime. And I think the crime numbers just released that we had, from what I'm thinking, it was 10 homicides in August. Not good. You know, we're not getting safer. I mean, if you compare it to the same month last year, I want to say we had maybe 3 homicides. So, you know, we're not getting safer. We've got to do something. But peeling back that onion a little bit, if you look at all the communities, we can have all the police, we can have them crawling everywhere. The problem is still there. We can put a Band-Aid on it, but the artery is still hemorrhaging. So what we've got to do, we've got to go down into the communities, and if we don't start doing that, we're going to have the same problem. It's not going to fix anything, you know, deep. We're just going to be out chasing the same problems. But in my opinion, we have got to take and we got to create a mentorship program, and we've got to start mentoring these kids so they understand that there is life beyond the hood. We'll call it the hood. I grew up in the hood. Sunset Acres was the hood.
You talk about mentoring and a mentor. We don't have the money for that, Leo. Where are we going to get the money?
There's no money needed. I would do a mentor program right now. We've got, as a matter of fact, I've already talked to several people. It's Bishop that I met out at Woodlawn High School. We had an event out there a few weeks ago. That's what he does. You know, you partner with people like that. But, you know, I don't care if it's you, if it's Robert, you know, whomever it is, and say, hey, would you like to be a part of our mentorship program? Well, absolutely. What do I have to do? You know, we want you to go into schools. You know, we'll have maybe once a week, you know, for maybe just give us an hour of your time. Well, absolutely. You go in there. Now, somebody, every particular race, every male, female, they will relate to one person. If you tell your story, Erin, there's going to be a female that's going to say, wow, Erin did that? I can do that. So we've got to get these people in, but that's not going to cost us money. That's going to be opportunities. And we also have to look, we've got Caddo Career Center right now. You know, they teach skills. Skilled labor is what they teach there. But we've got one school, one area, and it's been the same place. You know, it's right there on Union Avenue off of Hollywood. It's been there for umpteen years, since I was in high school. Mm-hmm. But we've got to do more of that. We've got to actually, then we've got to reach and expand that, start talking about maybe computer skills, more computer skills, so when we bring in corporations into Shreveport, that we have a trained workforce, not just, you know, well, do you have anybody that we can hire? No,